Good evening. These extraordinary times. I'd like to welcome you to the September 10th meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals. I'd ask anybody that's on the Zoom, don't hit the mute button until you're called upon. First up, we have a reserved decision. It's appeal number 2020-024. I move that the appeal of Patricia Panchek, 70 Park Road, Riverhead, for variances and or relief from chapter 103, section 11, where proposed impervious surface coverage is 47.8% and the maximum allowed is 15. Where the proposed side yard setback is 7.5 and the minimum required is 10. Where proposed front yard setback is 22.9 and the minimum required is 50. And section 9, where proposed attached garage is 5 feet from the rear side property lines and the minimum required is 20. Be approved in accordance with the applications and sketches and amendments thereto, if any, as filed with the building inspector. Do I hear a second?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Mr. Barnes?
Aye.
Mr. Gazillo?
Aye.
Mr. Whitmire?
Aye.
And I vote aye, so the appeal has been granted. Okay, Clarissa, you're up.
Appeal 2020-026, Zabila Dillis, 173 Deer Run, Wading River, tax map number 600-57-1, 7.40, RB80 zoning, for variances and or relief from chapter 301, section 31, where proposed impervious surface coverage is 34.8% and maximum allowed is 15%.
Okay. What do we have here?
Hey, Ralph.
Larry Buscemi, I know, is for this one.
Are you here with us?
Hey, Ralph.
And do your mute button. Hello? Take your mute button off.
I did. Can you hear me?
Oh,
Yes.
there we go, okay.
There we go. Okay.
Just raise your
Sorry,
right
guys.
hand, you swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
State your name and your address.
Larry Buscemi, 15 Vineyard Way, Mount Sinai, New York.
Okay, let's hear what you got.
All right, this application resulted from a building permit application to extend the back of the house kitchen area by about 8 by 3, so 31, so a couple hundred square feet, and also to extend the deck. Now, that resulted in an increase in the lot permeable surface coverage from the existing 34.6 to 34.8%. So it's a difference of 0.2%. It actually, the deck itself is being reduced by a little bit, even though they're applying for an extension because it's overcompensating for the extension of the kitchen. This is a situation where, you know, the difference is 90 square feet on an acre parcel. An acre parcel which is flat as pancake and has no runoff issues. Also, a lot of the calculation for the permeable surfaces seem to include pavers and decks, which to me are not entirely impermeable. Decks in particular are permeable. So really, this application will have no effect on the neighbors. It's not visible by the neighbors. Everybody's got a large piece of property over there. Again, it's a perfectly level piece of property and there's no runoff issues whatsoever.
Any board members have any questions?
Is that shed in compliance, the one way up there in the left-hand corner next to lot 32?
I'm sorry, I can't hear the question. Can you repeat it, please?
No, I was asking a board member, is the shed
I'm sorry.
that's 6.3 feet off the property line, is that in compliance? It's over 100 square feet?
I don't know because I wouldn't have any of the COs or the documents to back that up.
I do not, wait, I have all the COs here.
Assuming that the file was reviewed by the building inspector and whatever issues that were open would be addressed,
Gotcha.
I'm hoping.
Right, we would either add that to the application if necessary, or if necessary to move it, we'll move it. It'll be dealt with the building department.
No, I withdraw the question.
All right, is there anyone else on there to be heard about this matter?
Are there any other other people that would be online later to address us on this issue? That we know of?
Couple of people that, we don't know who they are. If they wanna comment, they can unmute themselves.
They can unmute themselves
If
and
there's
make
anybody
comment.
on the Zoom that wants to speak about this application, please unmute yourself and we'll put you on.
That makes
Guess
sense.
not. Okay. Who's got this one?
Right. I move that the appeal of the Bella Dillis 173 Deer Run, Wading River SCTM number 600-57-1-7.40-RB80 zoning for variances and/or relief from Chapter 301, Section 31, where proposed impervious surface coverage is 34.8% and maximum allowed is 15% be approved in accordance with the applications and sketches and amendments thereto, if any, as filed with the building inspector.
Second?
All right, Mr. Barnes.
Am I voting on
Yea or nay?
Yes.
which one? I'm sorry, I got off track.
Deer Run, Wading River.
Oh, yes, aye, sorry.
Mr. Gazillo.
Aye.
Mr. Whitmire.
And I vote aye.
And I vote aye. So the appeal has been granted. And best of luck.
Hey, Ralph.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great night.
You too. Take care.
Ralph.
Yeah.
behind- Do you have an extra pen up there?
Yeah, I got one.
My pen is laying there. Thank you.
The blue one, I think it is.
Is the blue one yours, Otto?
No, the one you gave,
Okay.
black one.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Chris.
Okay. Next is Appeal 2020-027, Global Montello Group Corp., 1733 Old Country Road, Riverhead, tax map number 600-119-18, BC zoning for variances and/or relief from Chapter 301, Section 93A, where proposed rear yard setback of building is 6.8 feet and minimum required is 25 feet.
All right, I believe we have, Mr. Walter on there. Just unmute
Yes.
your,
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Thank you for
See you, lawyer.
allowing us to present this application this evening. My name is Sean Walter, 1938 Wading River Manor Road, Wading River, New York. I represent Global Montello Corp. in this application. I have on the line with us, should you need to ask them any questions, David Bittner from High Point Engineering and Mohammed Labechi, the operator of the store. I will present the application, and Mr. Bittner will be available if you have any further technical engineering questions. The application is rather simple. We are seeking to build a 985 square foot addition to the convenience store, bringing the total the total square footage of the store to 2667. Because the proximity of the fuel tanks, there is no place to extend the store except in the back. It is a rather large piece of property. Some of you may have gotten gas there. It's relatively cheap. I know I get gas there all the time. I know, shouldn't make that unpaid announcement, but the existing building encroaches on the rear line at 6.8 feet. What we are proposing is an expansion that will be roughly the same as the 6.8 feet. It's actually a little bit further from the property line, 6.9 feet. The addition is designed to maintain roughly the same rear yard setback as the pre-existing condition. And again, if they could build this any other way, they would, but the fuel pumps are basically right in front of the front door. When you're in pump one, you can't even drive around it, so, that is the sum and substance of the application.
You know, whatever. I don't care.
any board members have any questions? Nobody has anything?
weight room?
I think in the weight room, the only one we have is, the owner. Is there anyone else, does anyone else to be heard on this matter? In opposition, I would imagine. Just unmute and we'll put you on. There's nobody. Okay. All right. What's up,
Application, I move that the appeal of Global Montello Group Corp., 1733 Old Country Road, Riverhead, SBTM number 600-119-1-8-BC, zoning for variances and/or relief from chapter 201, section 93A. The proposed rear yard setback building is 6.8, and the minimum required is 25, be approved in accordance with the applications and sketches and amendments thereto, if any, is filed with the building inspector.
Second.
Mr. Barnes.
Aye.
Mr. Zillo.
Aye.
Mr. Whitmire.
I vote aye.
And I vote aye also. So your appeal's been approved and you know the proper way to go.
Thank
after
you
this.
very much, gentlemen. Have a wonderful evening.
You too. Thank you very much.
Appeal 2020-030 Barclay Erler, 1871 Old Country Road, Riverhead. Tax map number 600-119-136, DRC zoning for variances and/or relief from Chapter 301, Section 107A, where proposed impervious coverage is 81.7% and maximum permitted is 75%. And Section 107C, where proposed contiguous landscape area is 18.3% and minimum required is 20%.
Okay, and you are?
Philip Butler for the applicant with Farrell Fritz, PC 100 Motor Parkway in Hopog. Good evening, Chairman and members of the board.
Just raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Again, you just repeat your name and your address, please.
Sure. Philip Butler, Farrell Fritz, 100 Motor Parkway, Hopog, New York.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna share my screen if that's all right. Can everyone see that?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, so I provided the board with this collection of materials for the presentation, so you should have a hard copy. Thank you to Carissa for providing those. So the property is 67,359 square feet, located at the southwest corner of Old Country Road and Cromer Avenue. It's directly across from the Northwell Urgent Care and Bob's Furniture. I'm sure you're all familiar with the site. Currently, it is improved with the shell of a 13,400 square foot retail building. Originally, the property was roughly 72,000 square feet. However, as the board may be aware, there were two significant dedications from my client to the county and then to the town. The first was 5,000 square feet on Old Country Road for turning improvements, I guess for making the right-hand turn onto Cromer Avenue. And the second was for over 2,000 square feet, a strip of land on Cromer Avenue for some drainage improvements because flooding in that area is a problem. So roughly, my client has lost approximately 7,700 square feet of lot area through these voluntary dedications to both the county and the town. This is significant for purposes of the application because, but for those dedications, the impervious coverage, which is one of the reliefs we are seeking, we would be within less than 1% of the allotted or permitted impervious coverage. So as some of the board members may be aware, this is actually the fourth time this application is before you. The last time was in June of 2015, during which building lot coverage, unoccupied setback, and continuous landscape variances were granted. The contiguous landscape variance granted at the time was for 15%. Pursuant to the instant application, we're proposing 3.3% more contiguous landscape, so that's an increase of roughly 445 square feet. So the layout of the property, again, is substantially the same as it was the last time this was presented to the board, so I won't go into great detail unless the board wants to discuss it. But if we're looking at the factors, and I won't belabor the points, but you know, basically the property has sat fallow and undeveloped now for almost a decade. So really any improvement that we can do at this point will only improve the, you know, the condition of the property. My client is proposing, you know, ample landscaping on the two frontages that are on Old Country Road and Cromer Avenue. There is a landscape plan in your materials. They're also providing on-site, stormwater runoff, which would be, you know, the concern most likely associated with the additional impervious coverage. They're providing 10 on-site, pools. In addition, my client is providing 2 off-site, dry wells that are attached to a catch basin on Cromer Avenue, which he's funding, you know, privately through his own funds. The variances are both under 10%. I believe they're 6.7% variance for the impervious coverage and a 1.7% variance for the landscaping. Unfortunately, there's really no way for us to reduce the amount of impervious and still get the specific layout of the property. The building's already there, and the parking areas are what they are in order to be compliant with the parking dimension requirements under the current code standards. As far as, sorry, someone have a question?
Keep going, you got it.
So, as far as the problem being self-created, you know, there is some degree of self-creation here in the sense that, you know, the property could potentially be reconfigured to eliminate some of the impervious, but again, not much. So in order to accommodate the necessary parking and as much landscaping as possible, you know, this is the minimum relief we can really seek. We did attempt to provide some additional landscaping on the median that is, for the entrance on Old Country Road. However, that created a sight distance issue. So that's going to be, you know, just a general paver style concrete with like a pattern on it. So again, you know, that's really all I have for the board. So if you have any specific questions, I'm happy to address them. Otherwise, we're asking, you know, that the application be granted.
Leroy, you have any questions on this one?
No, I read the application, I looked at it. It's fine.
Okay.
I have no issue.
Okay, anyone else? Is there anyone else on the, Zoom to be heard? If anyone else is on, please unmute yourself.
One unknown person,
One person?
one person's unknown, the other one's for the last application. I need it.
So is the unknown for this application too?
Chip, you're talking about Anita? I think she's for the next application.
There's nobody else.
Nobody else. Okay, let's have a reading.
I don't have that one. That's the one you read. I don't have it. Did she give you 2?
I got one.
You got one?
Did you read it, Otto?
No, I don't have it.
I read 2.
What do you have?
I got the beer company.
Oh, I'm trying to look. I don't have it. Nobody gave it to me.
There were 2, well, you guys had 4 in front,
I had 2.
and he has 2 down.
I'll wing it. I'll wing it. All right.
Take your time.
Got to put my glasses. I move that the appeal of Barclay Erler, 1871 Old Country Road, Riverhead, SCTM number 600-119-1-36-DRC zoning for variances and/or relief from chapter 301, section 107A, where proposed impervious coverage is 81.7% and maximum permitted is 75%, and section 107C, where proposed contiguous landscaped area is 18.3% and maximum required is 20%, be approved in accordance with the applications and sketches and with amendments thereto, if any, is filed by the building inspector.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Mr. Whitmire?
Aye.
Mr. Gazillo?
Aye.
Mr. Barnes?
Aye.
And I vote aye. So your appeal has been granted, and just keep the process going.
Great, thank you very much. Thank you to
Good
the
luck.
board. Good night.
Good luck.
Good night, thank you.
All right, Carissa.
Appeal 2020-033, Twin Fork Beer Company, 807 Rainer Avenue, Riverhead, Tax map number 600, 108-212, industrial C zoning for variances and/or relief from chapter 301, section 122, C2A, where retail use shall not exceed 10% of the gross floor area or 3,000 square feet, whichever is less, of the wholesale business. Proposed is 1,650 square feet, and maximum permitted is 1,148 square feet.
All right. You unmute? You unmute yourself? You unmuted?
Okay, can you guys hear me
There
now?
we go, yeah, we can hear you. Just raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do, sir.
State your name and your address.
Okay, good evening, Chairperson, Chairman, people of the board. My name is Daniel Chikajian, Twin Fork Beer Company, 807 Rainer Avenue, Riverhead.
State your case.
Okay, the case is, the purpose is to increase our allowable use in the tasting room by 3% to accommodate social distancing in our tasting room in our brewery. We feel that this is an insignificant increase in the allowable use, and it's only been 3% increase, so we feel it's something you should entertain.
So when the COVID is over, are you gonna put it back to what it's supposed to be, or do you want the variance permanently?
We like the variance permanent. We are not necessarily looking for an increase in occupancy. We just feel that it would be safer to have our patrons in a distanced manner.
Okay, I mean, it doesn't, I mean, to me, it appears to be a good thing to increase your space area. It's unfortunate that the code was only written to allow about 1,000 square foot. So I'd be happy to grant it, at least me personally. So I don't know how the other members feel.
I don't have any questions, Mr. Chairman.
I have no problem with
Is someone else on this?
it. Okay. Anita, would you, is there one more to be heard? Unmute if you want to talk.
Is she in favor or opposed, do you know?
I have a feeling she's in favor.
Was that?
I have a feeling she's in favor.
She's your wife?
No, it's my mother.
Come on.
You gotta bring mom into this.
We're
all
gonna
thirsty.
turn mom down?
We're all thirsty.
And you just swore in front of your mother?
Well, I would imagine your mom is for this, so there's nobody in opposition on Zoom. Let's have a reading.
Thank you very much, Joe.
I move that the appeal of Twin Fork Beer Company, Inc., 807 Raynor Avenue, Riverhead, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 600-108-2-12-INDC zoning for variance and relief from Chapter 301, Section 122, C2A, where retail use shall not exceed 10% of the gross floor area or 3,000 square feet, whichever is less of the wholesale business. Proposed is 1,650 square feet, maximum permitted is 1,148 square feet. Be granted in accordance with the applications and sketches with amendments thereto, if any, as filed with the building inspector.
Second.
All right, Mr. Bonds.
Aye.
Mr. Gazillo.
Aye.
Mr. Whitmire.
And I vote aye.
And I vote aye, and best of luck in your endeavor.
Thank you very much, and happy birthday to you.
Thank you, good luck.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Yes.
Thank you.
And tell your mom she didn't have to come on board. We don't mess with moms. We don't
She
mess
needs
with
something
moms.
to do.
We'll meet here at the grand opening, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
Okay, thank you very much, Joe.
Thank you.
Best of luck.
Good night.
Bye, Mom.
Okay. We're here a motion to accept the minutes of the last meeting.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
All in favor?
Aye.
I hear a motion to adjourn.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much, everyone.